Namaste World Racer, Sabine and Roger here. Let's watch anger management tips. Top ways to deal with anger issues with Dr Hansaji Yogendra from the YouTube channel The Yoga Institute. It's the first time that we cover her. It's a huge channel and it looks like she covers every topic imaginable.
Yeah, we were just kind of browsing through her channel and she almost appears like female Satguru, just covering everything, right? So fantastic. She's a doctor, so really looking forward to this because we have had some difficulties with anger manifesting in this household.
Especially lately.
Lately, while we were watching the Mahabharata.
Oh dear.
Have any of you guys ever heard of the Mahabharata? Yeah, we just watched it. And there was some difficult episodes. Really got our blood boiling. So anyways, let's find out how to deal with anger, hopefully much better next time.
Namaskar. Anger has ruined many relationships and even destroyed wealthiest people's relationships. People lose control over their ideas, behavior, and feelings. We say such hurtful things which we should never say. Anger often leads to a heated conversation and even a violent fight. We, on the other hand, take anger issues very lightly. It's critical to recognize that anger can consume you. So, you need to take control over anger for your physical and mental well-being. You will not only save yourself, but many relationships as well. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, shloka 63, and this shlok goes like this. Krodhat bhavati sammoha, sammohat smruti vibhrama, smruti bhramshat buddhinasho, buddhinashat pranashyati. From anger arises delusion. From delusion arises confusion of memory. From confusion of memory, loss of reason. And from loss of reason, one goes to a complete ruin. Lord Krishna says, when you are angry, you get deluded. You begin to believe something that isn't true. In your imagination, you create certain circumstances, which in turn leads to confusion. In a tense situation, your memories of connection, your friendship, your professionalism, your humanity gets blurred. From confusion of memory, what happens? It's a loss of intellect. The feeling arises that you feel that you have lost your ability of reasoning. And this takes you on the path of destruction. In today's chaotic society, every other second, you will find someone yelling or arguing. It might be on the street, while driving, or by buying some vegetables or something, or even at home. You will find such scenes. However, majority of the time, these arguments are simply illogical. Anger totally takes control of us and we can't think of anything else but argue and make the thing worse. So, how should we control our anger and save ourselves from self-destruction? First, be quiet. Staying silent is the best approach to avoid an argument. If you don't say anything at that moment, you will always avoid any kind of regret later. And you will not give other person a reason to continue the fight. If you have to respond, then make sure that you little bit think about what you have to say and then open your mouth. Don't go off tangent, only make your points clear. It is best to clear out any confusion when your mind is settled. Second point, don't dwell on the past argument. If anger thoughts begin in your mind, which can lead to bigger argument, try to let go your negative thoughts and feeling before they overpower you. Third, don't get affected by someone's rude remarks. The remark doesn't define you. Choose to be indifferent to people in such a situation. This will quieten your thought and prevent you from overreacting in a situation. Fourth, Drink water.
Hey.
Have a
Nice.
few sips of water when you notice yourself becoming angry. This will give you some time to calm yourself down and allow you to avoid unnecessary arguments or responses.
I think someone
You
mentioned
can
that in
also
the comment
isolate
section.
yourself for some time and go for a walk. This will allow you
Walk, yeah.
to reflect for some time on the situation rather than reacting and arguing. Fifth, maintain a relaxed mindset. Do not take life too seriously. Do not take words of people too seriously. There are very few people who really think before speaking. People just speak and you react. Don't do that. Follow a healthy morning routine. Go out, take some fresh air, enjoy the beauty around, and be relaxed and happy. You should go for a walk in the morning. This will help you to maintain your positive attitude throughout the day. Sixth point, avoid spicy and hot food. Tamasic food like stale food, processed food, overcooked food, overeating, all this will create problem. Seventh point, share with loved ones. Don't keep your emotions bottled up until you can't stand them, until you can't manage with them. Instead, talk to your friend or family member about how you are feeling. In life, when situations are not so conducive, not so cohesive, you do get angry, naturally. But now keeping anger within you for a long time is going to create problem. You have to control your anger. You can't speak out when you are angry. You have to settle your anger down first. But then find out somebody who is more cooperative with you, who is your loved one, with whom you can tell, share what you are feeling about situation. This will make you feel lighter and provide you some solution as to how you should deal with such problems. In life, either people slip into anger, frustration, destroy themselves, destroy their calmness, destroy their peace, destroy their health. Instead of that, they are supposed to maintain that calmness and healthy thinking. They should avoid unnecessary thinking. When they find that they are really angry, they should just calm themselves down by doing something. Like they should get into some hobby, they should go out for a walk, they should sit near sea and count the waves. Calm the mind down. And once mind is calmed down, then you will be able to handle any situation very correctly.
Yeah, so that was lovely. Absolutely loved her. And let's keep in mind, so this was a very practical approach to dealing with anger once it has arisen within you. And these were, some excellent tips, because once it has taken hold and you maybe weren't mindful enough, because there is ways to catch the anger as it's arising. But yeah, if you miss that step, if you're not mindful enough, and some people, not everybody in this world is spiritually, they're not seeking to access that higher level of consciousness within them, the observer, the witness, the awareness that is there prior to the thoughts. And then they're caught up, right? And once the anger thought has arisen, some things happen. Like you're driving on the road and somebody cuts you off, and then you get upset, and then you give them a little honk, and then they give you the finger, and then holy smokes, you are gone.
That's not us, by the way. Cars cutting us off are no triggers.
But I remember in the past, back before I was spiritual,
really?
There was one time where I was so angry that I actually followed the person until they stopped. Because it was bad, because she didn't even just cut me off. She actually drove, we were on the freeway and then everybody's going the same speed, but this person was in a hurry. Looking back, and now that I'm spiritual, of course I would have tried to get out of the way, because she was obviously in a hurry, right?
Oh
Maybe she was going to the hospital.
Hilarious.
But anyways,
I can't even imagine you
I
doing
know,
that
I was
now.
so angry, right? So that's what I'm talking about. Once that anger is there, you're trapped. It's diluted. You lose your reasonable skills, right? Think it back to that incident. So I have that experience, and then it was entirely bonkers. I was absolutely crazy, right? So that's what she's talking about. I love how she quoted the Bhagavad Gita in here. Krishna says this from the Gita. Yeah, you lose your sense, you lose your rationality, right? You lose control, you're gone, right? So then what to do? Remain silent. And this is also part of the untethered soul and stuff, and how to let go of the anger, right? It's best not to, to argue and vomit it out. But as part of letting it go, you can really feel it. And that's what she's talking about when she says, be silent, go for a walk, drink some water. So you're kind of like shifting, the awareness. But at the same time, I think it's important to really feel it, because that's part of the letting go. If you suppress it and you resist it, then you're actually just creating a trigger inside of you that will explode, and the control won't be there, right? So to manage it and to truly let it go, and let that karma be felt. Because even when we're talking about anger arising, it's painful and it hurts and it
feels real. So
you can see it as your karma, so you did something in the past, or maybe you made somebody angry, and now somebody is making you angry, but in reality, that's your own,
it's within you,
spiritual dynamic of your body, mind, consciousness, your aggregates, your modes of material nature. So that's your karma manifesting as anger. So it's up to you to deal with it, right? And then once you're calm, then you can take appropriate action and be more intelligent when you're approaching the other party, if it needs to be addressed, or if you realize that, my anger was just an overreaction, right? Which oftentimes is very much the case, right? Because from a higher state of awareness, you might have not gotten angry at all with the exact same situation.
When speaking of anger, it's good to have some tips for what you can do when you're angry. But usually when you're angry, it's already too late. If you're at the state of rage, if you're just angry and then you feel the anger, there's anger, you want to lash out, but there is some awareness there, then you can be quiet, and then walk away from the situation, etc. There are other stages where that is not possible anymore, or also stages where there is anger and being quiet is just, I have a problem with this be quiet, because I get it. It's it's important to not vomit everything out. At the same time, not be quiet in the sense that don't look at it. It's don't push it away and ignore it, because it has a message and it's an energy that is there that needs to be surrendered and dealt with. When you're angry and rageful, you're running around like a pressure cooker until you actually dealt with the cause.
So you see each trigger as when somebody, causes you discomfort or anger in regards to somebody, an event or a person, and then all of a sudden it arises within you. And then you didn't catch it in time, and then it's manifested. You take it as the opportunity to let go and, purify that tendency within you. So when she says, be quiet, I think it's like you. So I don't think she's saying, repress it or hide it or not look at it.
Shut up.
I think it's like a silent, awareness, and contemplate it. And it's like,
nice.
Right? And then really reflect on it and then feel it. I think the most important thing, is to experience it, because it is pain and it is suffering, and we're in samsara, so we're all, led by delusions and habitual tendencies and this very, dualistic ego mind that's very much, in control, and then thinks that it's independent of everything and wants to be right more than anything, and then on and on and on. So it's creating things. And as you become spiritual, you become more aware of the true nature of reality in your own higher self. So the lower self, it still needs to experience the effects of the karma that it's created. So then you feel the pain, you feel the suffering, and you take it on as, I deserve this, I'm going to feel it. And then you go into the pain, and then you let it dissolve. And then that's really what you need to do. And
not even deserve, but you take responsibility for it, right? You can say, you deserve it, not to beat yourself up. So I'm just I know, but maybe someone doesn't understand. So I'm just making the distinction. You just take responsibility for whatever arises within you.
So practical approaches to dealing with anger, right? So depending on where we are on the spiritual journey, we're going to have more, awareness. We're going to be on different levels, everybody, right? And most people are, just looking at statistics, are not spiritual. We're very much materialistic, right? So this is a very practical teaching to be like, whew, calm down. And then, so definitely it's much easier to even do these practical things with a little bit of spiritual understanding. So that's my number one tip. But other than that, practice these things. You got to do something, right? Because it's so important to not lash out and to not create that continual cycle of, pollution, right? It's like conscious pollution, these lower levels, when we just vomit them all over the place. Somebody makes you angry, so then you retaliate and revenge, or you don't, and you hold on to it, but then you do it to somebody else later, and then it's just perpetual, right? So we really have to see that, hey, we're all in this together. There's a very populated world. There's a lot of people, so we need to be having some control over our emotions and to respect and love one another to the extent that, we are one family. We're all in the same world together. So if you have that in mind, then it becomes easier to deal with it. And also to understand, ignorance, right? Everybody's on different levels spiritually, which means some people are more ignorant to the absolute truth, than others. And some people are very much, ego driven, pride, narcissism, and all these things. And then so we can look at them with compassion when somebody does something like really horrible or stupid that would make us angry. Instead, we flip the anger into compassion and be like, oh, well, that person's just going around causing other people all sorts of suffering. And think about the negative karma that they're gathering by being the way that they are, so we can feel compassion for them. So that really helps with dealing with anger as well. Because when you feel, it's hard to be anger and compassionate at the same time.
Angry and compassionate.
Yeah, try it.
Try it.
Angry compassion.
Wrathful compassion, but that's something different.
That was great. So go check out her YouTube channel at the Yoga Institute. Make sure you like and subscribe to her channel, and watch and learn. Peruse the videos if you're dealing with more of the need some practical guidance, practical tips. It seems like she's great.
Before we leave you guys, we have a Patreon shout out of the day for Hulk Smash, aka Matt.
Hulk Smash!
Punch!
I remember you, traveling with you, going to France with you. It was such a joy, so much fun. So much happy times interspersed with glorious, insatiable fits of anger and rage. It was absolutely fascinating, exciting, and when this stuff's coming up, we gotta go within and we gotta deal with it and we let it go. So that's the glorious journey of being spiritual, my friend. We're letting the anger come up and then we're looking at it. Nobody does that better than you, my friend. I have seen a transformation this past year that most people would not even comprehend. You're like a new man, a Hanuman, born out of the ashes of the old Max.
Oh yeah.
Stepping it up, my friend. Good job.
Melting all these anger ice blocks beautifully. Keep it up. I'm so proud of you.
You're the man.
You're the man.
Peace.
Hello, man.